Alright, in this next section of the film, this is where we left off, I want to cover a little bit about daylighting within the kitchen via the windows and this door and possibly skylights. So this is where we left, and whether it was here or there. The way this is set up now, this does reduce some of our natural light that is in the kitchen now. The kitchen right now is fairly bright with a very large window and the window over the sink. In this particular, what we're looking at here, this is really about it in terms of windows within the kitchen, with the pantry here and the need for cabinetry on this wall. This is kind of what we're more or less limited to, give or take a few inches here or there. And what this is totaling is there is a window in the pantry in this, the way it's looking right now, but even with these doors open, I think we can expect to only see about 50% of that light making its way into the kitchen. So we pick up a couple feet there, 12 square feet on the new window, giving us a total of 14 square feet of light exposure for the kitchen, natural light exposure for the kitchen. Your existing kitchen, even that big window, is quite a bit larger, 25% larger than our triple window that we're now showing over the sink, and you had this big nice square window here. So your existing kitchen has about 21-22 square feet, where our new one, that's going to represent a loss of maybe 35% of the natural light in the kitchen, which I think is a serious loss. And I think that's probably compounded even further by the fact that we have this addition out here that's going to be blocking some of this late afternoon light that would come from the west. So this is something to consider. And if we did want to review these skylights now, skylights will render 2 to 10 times the light per square foot. So if we add in that the first system of skylights that I show with the triple skylights and their square footage, and we take the conservative 2 times, that gives us 21 feet at the ceiling, this 2 feet, this 12 square feet. So even taking the conservative value of 2 times the light per square foot, we can gain brightness in the kitchen, natural lighting in the kitchen, by a minimum of 62% with this. And of course, maybe it's more than that even, just bumping it up to the next value of 3 times, we end up with twice as much light in the kitchen. So the skylights, I think, are a critical part of the plan and ought to be seriously considered. Now going forward then, if we have this sort of a situation though, this is the one without the soffit coming straight across. This soffit straight across perhaps makes downlighting a little more simple here. Just have recessed cans up in here. This task lighting down here, of course, is accomplished by under cabinet lighting here, but you'll want some light through this pathway as well, some ambient light through the pathway. You can see that I've put glass in this door, some sort of textured glass in this door to have some of the color and light come through there, if for no other reason that doesn't seem very closed off there. If you go back like that, it's very closed off. So I think if you have a door there, it ought to have some sort of glazing like that. Yeah, so if these skylights, this one's easy. They just open all the way down to there, and you'll have to arrange some sort of lighting, as I said before, pendants or some other sort of lighting for this region here. But in the event that you did bring the soffit straight across and you had recessed lighting up here, then you create, and you still had these larger skylights, those go down past that, and some people will do something like this, where there's a shelf up there, and some people put plants, but you've got to water them, or they've got to be artificial, which is not anything that I particularly care for, but some people like this. So other people will just use the sculpture, something like that. In any case, this is one way to mitigate the loss of natural light in the kitchen, is via the use of these skylights up here. Now, leaving that aside, I want to talk about the ceiling itself now in this division. To me, if we look at this from the floor looking up, lying on the floor with or without skylights, to me this has a really obvious, this is an addition look here. And so perhaps we want to do something to maybe, and I think it's fine like that, but if you wanted to do something to mitigate that, this next section of film will talk about various treatments at the ceiling level to try to balance that imbalanced look out a bit. Not that anyone's going to be lying on the floor looking up, but you'll still get that feel from the ground.